Hi. Hi.
Please take it off.
Can you like that? Why? It's so nice. It's so nice.
It's creeping me the hell out.
Didn't you ever wish you could kiss yourself?
No.
You sure?
I'm positive.
You sure? I think it's pretty good. I feel pretty, so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and gay. That's how the song goes. What?
I can't even look at you. Could you take it off? Nobody is going to take that seriously.
Nobody's going to take it. What? I put this on so that I can be taken seriously. Like a professional. My name's Victoria. Don't call me Vicky. It's Victoria.
You're screaming at me.
Yeah, because I'm very large and in charge and adamant about everyone calling me Victoria.
Is that a fat joke? Large and in charge?
No. God. Your flipping mama loves it. Seriously.
I question her choices.
Wait. My bangs are getting messed up. All right, guys. Victoria.
Seriously. Please take that thing off.
I think I look beautiful.
I can't even look at you.
Oh, man. Actually, yeah. I like having my hair is short. What? Cheryl says my hubby says that's just wrong.
It's totally
it's true.
Wrong,
she can't even handle.
I can't even look at her.
She can't even look at me. What's up, guys? It's Sunday live haul. We went sourcing yesterday. Usually, well, I always go on Thursdays. Wait, I just saw something pop up. Christy Harris, what? Super chat for the wig. I don't have the wig on anymore. It just got taken away. But I will. Oh, you're just giving us a $2 super chat for the wig. Thank you very much. Super chat. Super chat. She's super chatty. Yeah.
I can't even look at her when she's got that freaking thing on. It looks ridiculous.
Did you say ridiculous?
I did. Ridiculous. Redonkulous. I can't do it.
Treasure Hustler says only certain peeps can rock that hair, and you are not one of them. That is very true.
True story.
Anyway, we usually go sourcing, or I always go sourcing on Thursdays for the 25% off day, and a lot of times Vicky will accompany me. Because we have friends in town, we left Thursday morning and went to California. So I ended up going yesterday, and you came along for all of it. And I was a little worried about going on a Saturday just because it's the weekend. I figured like later in the day, the savers would be picked over and we wouldn't be able to find as much. Yeah, I was wrong.
No, we both killed it.
I spent a crazy amount of money on a bunch of really awesome stuff.
You spent more than I did, for sure.
But I have something that I forgot to share on the last show. So our friends Lou and Rachel are here.
If you missed the show Friday, they were here for our Friday After Dark.
Yeah. No, Cheryl says the real Katie hair is better. True story.
It is.
Anyway, so they came to visit, and they are they're still here. They're out doing some house hunting stuff right now, I believe. But they didn't bring me a present. It came in the mail like the day that they got here. But this present was and is for me, obviously. Are you guys ready for this? I don't know if you can handle this, guys. You ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Here we go.
I like catfish, but I cannot. Other feel like that. When they bring it in, I'm playing in the game with that big plant in my face. Want to hit that face because it's having on the end of a spring. It's a plan, but I can't quit staring. I want to get with ya. Burn blood.
Okay.
Hey, whoa! Now I gotta start over.
No.
I like catfish, but I cannot. Other feel like that. When they bring it in, I'm playing in the game with that big plant in my face. Want to hit that face because it's having on the end of a spring. It's a plan, but I can't quit staring. I want to get with ya. Burn blood. Hit ya. Them alley cats trying to warn me. The catfish you got me.
Oh, it keeps going, guys.
Stand down, Vicky, Kelly says.
Guys, she bit me. I got bite marks right there. She bit me. But you know what? Nobody stops the I Heart Catnip cat.
Meow, 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 meow. I can't.
Meow, 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 meow.
All I have to say is we laughed really hard. I don't know if any of you guys are into wrestling or not, but we actually got to go do something cool last night. So we're not into wrestling, so we had no idea who this guy is. But
That's not true.
oh, you knew who he was.
I know who he is, and I know, but yes, you know.
Okay, so we got to hang out. We went to dinner last night with some friends, and they're friends of Lou and Rachel, my closest friends that are here, and they had friends of friends. Anyway, there were 8 of us that went to dinner last night, and one of the guys we went to dinner with was, what's his name?
Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
RVD, WWE wrestler. Super nice guy. You know, there were 8 of us went to dinner. So we went to dinner, and then he's been doing some stand-up comedy, and he had his stand-up show was last night. He did 3 nights here in Vegas, and last night was his last night. So we went to go watch him do some stand-up. I have to say it was a lot of fun. Guys should probably stick to wrestling. Not very funny. I give anybody credit that'll get up on stage and do something like that. Don't get me wrong. Not super funny. Nice.
I enjoy the show. I think that his sense of humor was like it was weird and odd, which I thought was funny, and I giggled a lot. So
he was kind of like fun. Stephen Wright, but not as good on the delivery. Very dry, a lot of dramatic pauses. I get it. I love comedy. I do. I love comedy. I have a lot of friends that are comics, a lot of friends that are actually professional comedians, and a couple of them are famous. And not my style, but
not her style.
Not my style.
She's hard to please, guys.
But he was a really nice guy.
I know you guys would be really shocked to hear this. She's hard to please.
I am.
I can't tell you how many times I've been like, I want you to see this movie. It's awesome. You'll love it. And at the end, she'll be like, that was the worst movie I've ever seen. I cry, and then I try again next time, and it never works out. Anyway, but I tend to have like a very like off sense of humor, and like the weird things will make me giggle a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's just like, what I don't understand.
I don't get it.
But whatever, it was really fun. It was really fun. And the dude has some balls to be going up on stage and trying to make anybody laugh. So yeah. I enjoyed it.
So it was a good time. So I don't know anybody. I mean, I didn't know who he was. I knew WWF wrestling back in the day when I was young. Like WWE, I only know a few wrestlers that I've heard of, but I don't watch wrestling.
Yeah, he started like back in '89, and he was did a lot in the '90s in the last, basically over the last 20 years and stuff. So
yeah. So, and he was really nice, totally down to earth guy. I had a couple people recognize him when we were out to dinner. He was very gracious to them. We didn't act like he was anybody different, because again, he isn't to me. So we had, it was nice. It was a nice dinner. It was different.
Mm-hmm.
We had fun.
Yeah,
and finally found a good Italian restaurant in Las Vegas. I've been looking for one since I moved here, and oh my God, I finally found one. Like good Italian. Like we're talking like Northeast New York City and Boston, Southie, good Italian food. Providence, Federal Hill. It doesn't exist out here in most places. Like people consider Italian, good Italian here, like the Olive Garden. Blech. So it was really good. So I'm super excited that I found a great restaurant. It's not too far, and we'll definitely go again.
Yeah, absolutely. It was delicious.
It was.
And that little tiki bar was good.
And they had a tiki bar in the back, which was so cool. So they had.
It was weird because you're like, okay, I'm going to go to an Italian restaurant, and then I'm going to go hang out in the tiki bar out back. But so it's a weird combo.
Yeah.
But the Italian part was delicious, and the tiki part was really cool. It was like outside. So
yeah, they turned their back patio area, their outdoor, seating area, into a tiki bar.
What is the name of the restaurant? The bar part is called Tiki de Amore. Tiki de Amore.
It's something D'Amore.
Something D'Amore. It's on Tropicana. It's right next to.
No, it's not Buca de Beppo or Buca de Beppo. That's another chain. That's crap. Chain restaurants. Bleh.
Yeah.
It's in Las Vegas, but it's off of Tropicana. It's actually not too far from the Tropicana Savers. It was really good. And I've been to some that people think are fantastic, and they're not.
It was good Italian food.
And somebody said Al Forno, Texas Turnaround. You're right. Al Forno is fantastic. It's in Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, Christiane, Vegas, the home of wise guys and no good Italian restaurant. You're absolutely correct. It's absolutely correct. There's a few, but there's not bad.
Yeah, we'll definitely be going back.
Batista's hole in the wall is pretty good, but even that's not great. That's mediocre Italian.
Yeah, this I would call good Italian. At least what I had was really good. What you had was really good. So I think so.
Yeah, Cheryl, you win. She saw a baby being born this weekend.
What?
Oh, you totally win. No wonder are you busy. You win.
For sure. You win. Red Neckerson's resales hooking us up with $1.27 super chat. What up, y'all?
What up?
So for him. Well, look at you. Who's getting silly over here? Who thinks? What? So like I put on your wig and now you think you get to be funny and stuff?
Mm-hmm. I'm funny sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
I make you laugh.
All right, cover up your ears.
Oh, you're gonna sing a yeehaw.
Yeah. There you go. Did you make it?
Oh, I made it. All right then.
Ooh, somebody paid for something. Anyway, so yeah, so I think we have a bunch of stuff to show, but do we want to do our numbers first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a new thing that we just started doing the last couple of weeks. If you follow either one of us on Instagram, pretty much every Monday after we finish shipping, we do our weekend sales. We've been doing that for a couple of months now. So we'll cover what we sold over the weekend, what our, net is, what our cost of goods, shipping, all that kind of stuff. We don't break it down quite so much for the show here, but this is the past 7 days of sales for each of us. The number of items sold, the total sales, cost of goods, and then basically you can figure out like approximate shipping and net from there. But we net about 60 to 65%.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. You want to go first?
Sure. So this week was a little slower for me than it was the previous week. But still decent. So I sold 48 items in the past week for a total of $2,251, all on eBay. I had no Etsy sales this week. I think I had one last week, but none this week. So total cost of goods was just under $210. So total gross, $2,251. Cost of goods, $210. And figure, approximately a 65% net on that $2,251. Once you take out fees and shipping, things like that. So.
Indeed. So for my last week, my sales have been great. The last couple of days, they've kind of been crap. Like today, I've barely sold anything. I've just sold a couple of things. Yesterday, I was under $200, which for me is a pretty, like I want to hit like 300 every day. If I can average 300, I'm pretty happy. Mm-hmm. So yesterday, I think I did like 150. So the last couple of days, not good. But when I look at the larger picture and look at the whole month and look at the last week, it all looks good. So, you're going to have bad days here and there. I think I'm only a little over $500 for the weekend, which, usually for a while now, I've been breaking $1,000 every weekend.
Yeah,
so
me too.
Well, to be in the middle of Sunday and I'm still just barely over 500. It's a pretty.
I did 500 on Friday and 300 and change yesterday, but I'm under 100 for today so far.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm still going to end up probably close to 1,000. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, crickets for like the last 24 hours.
Rosie's Closet. Crystal says that she loves my shirt and she has the same one. It's a Golden Misfits shirt. It's the hockey Golden Knights Las Vegas hockey team. I love the shirt and I love the Misfits, so it's an awesome combo for me. Anyway, okay, so for eBay, I sold 46 items. This is for the last week. 46 items.
I sold 48. You sold 46.
Yeah.
We are always so close and we sell different things. It's so weird.
So I sold 46 items for a gross of $2,073.85. But then on Etsy, I sold 8 items. I had a really good week on Etsy. And I sold 8 items for a gross of $469.93. So my total number of items sold was 54 for a gross total of $2,543.78. So
you did $300 more than me this week.
Yeah, and then my cost of goods for those items sold was approximately $355. And like Vicki said, I don't have everything else figured out, but we both tend to do about 60 to 65% net. So I figured, conservatively 60% of that, my net would still be $1,526.27 for the last week. So not too shabby.
Not too
So
shabby.
even though I'm having a couple of off days, still doing pretty good. I was able to get over $10,000 between Etsy and eBay for the last month, for a month of October.
And we are a little bit slow right now because we've been doing so much with our friends that are here this week. So other than getting shipping out, today is the first day that I've actually taken the time to do some listing.
Yeah.
And I got 12 items listed before the show, and that's pretty much it because I think we're going to go to dinner later.
Well, it's tough to get stuff done when we have people visiting, and we're kind of getting into that time of year when there's a lot of stuff going on, and so we've only been able to get like a few things listed. I mean, I think I've managed to get at least 2 things like relisted every day, and a few listings. I think I did 9 today.
I didn't even do that. I got 12 new ones listed today, but I wasn't even ending and relisting.
Yeah. Somebody asked, is it really safe is it really okay to send coffee mugs in padded envelopes wrapped in bubble wrap and then cardboard? I mean, you know, there are people who do that and they seem to ship okay if you do it right. If you put it in a box and then put it inside a padded flat rate mailer. I generally only sell men's clothing, but I did sell a couple of Starbucks mugs I'd gotten back in Oregon last year during the holidays. And personally, because like since I've discovered the whole cubic priority thing, I prefer, and I would, if I was selling more mugs, I prefer putting them in a small box because with cubic priority anyway, it's like you're barely paying more than what a padded flat rate is.
Yeah, cubic priority on the small, like 8x8x6 boxes is still in the $7 range. So you're really only paying a few cents more than the padded mailer. I have shipped in a padded mailer. Definitely in a box and then a padded mailer, or wrapped really well with bubble wrap and cardboard. So that's pretty much a box inside of the padded mailer. That's okay too. If it's as strong as a box inside a padded mailer, that's fine.
Yeah. But then there's also like the perception too. And there are some buyers who can be picky, and the perception of getting something in a bag as opposed to a box, especially with something that's breakable, you know, whatever. So to me, it's just, if I were selling more coffee mugs, I would prefer just to send it in a box, but it's fine. It's fine as long as it seems like
so everybody's checking in and saying hello. We do see all the names. Thank you for popping in. We got some new people. I think there's a couple of new people there, and then some of our loyal watchers and followers, and we appreciate you guys coming in every time.
Yeah, for sure. So Stacy says that she's up to 31 items on her Etsy. How many items would you say you had active before seeing sales on there? Here's the thing. Etsy is much slower than eBay. It just does not have the same reach. And so
I'm well over 400 and I still only had 4 sales last month.
So I'm at about 650 active listings, and I'm listing regularly, like every day, just like I am with eBay. But my sales are a fraction of what my eBay sales are. And so like I think the last month I'm at like $1,400 in sales. Now the last week was really good and I'm over 400 on Etsy. But that's with like, so I think I've said this before, I have only a third of the listings on Etsy that I have on eBay, but I have more like a sixth of the sales. So, you know, as far as regular
market,
I mean, I had to get quite a few listings up before I started seeing regular sales. And even now it's like, I don't have regular sales in Etsy. I'll go 3-4 days without a sale. And then I just had like this last week, I had 6 things shipping out within a 24-hour period. Like all of a sudden I was like, bam, 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 sales. Whereas on eBay, it's like, I don't remember at this point, it's been a few months since I've had a 0 sale day, and that was during the summer when we were having some real bad issues. But generally on eBay, I never have a no sales day. I might have slower days, but I always have sales.
I always have something. Yeah.
Right. Etsy, on the other hand, I can go 2, 3, 4, 5 days with no sales.
I've gone a week without a sale, and I have 400 and I think it's like 450 something items up there right now. So
yeah, I will say I've been doing promoted listings on Etsy, and I think that has helped me to get helped me to get more sales. So I'm still kind of playing around with that.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to go ahead and talk about our sales?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me close
Stacy
this.
asked while you're looking that up, do you put the boxes in a poly bag to do cubic? You can if you'd like. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference on something that small. I think the pricing will be pretty much in line, whether it's in a box or the box in the poly.
Yeah, you can test it out. I mean, if you're sending it in a box already, just try doing the measurements. Like, because when
see which one's better.
If you're using Pirate Ship, just go in and say you're using a box, plug in the measurements, see the price, and then if it can fit in the poly bag that you have, try doing it as a soft pack and see if there's any difference. And that'll, you know, whichever one works for you.
So Mr. Albert Lopez says, I'm new. So welcome to our show.
Welcome to the show.
And then why not Posh instead of Etsy? Because Katie focuses a lot on vintage and her stuff sells very well on Etsy. I also sell a lot of vintage, so I have a lot of things to put on Etsy. And Posh is super high maintenance, and we're not interested in a third platform. I'm not anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with Posh. It's just, it's not really the platform for me. And I am very much about like choosing a limited number of platforms so that you can commit to them. Like I'm all about like commit to the ones that you choose. So
and she only sells men's clothing, and men's clothing is not your target market on Posh. Yes, you can sell men's clothing, and it does sell. It does not sell as well as it does on eBay or Etsy. So that would be counterproductive for her to focus all that time, energy, and effort into a platform that works a fraction as well as.
Now, if I had multiple people working for me and I could have it going on all these different platforms, maybe I would venture out into that. I know, like my friend Eddie, he's doing Posh, and he does a lot of men's streetwear. He's always also doing women's clothing. So I know that the market is there. It's just not for me. And I feel like stuff does tend to sell at a lower price point on Posh. Whereas Etsy, although it is a slower mover, it does go for higher prices. And I'm more about selling higher prices at a slower rate.
I feel the same. I'm not looking to sell the most current clothing super quickly. So I do a lot of vintage. I do a lot of classics. I do sell current stuff sometimes, but generally only if it's high end. I'm not selling the medium priced things like, I don't know, like Abercrombie and stuff that you buy at the mall or any of those shops. So, and it seems to me that that's the type of stuff that sells well and fast on Posh. I'm not knocking that. That's just not my style. So same thing. I don't have any more hours in the day working is to add another platform, especially one that's that needy.
Yeah.
So
one heck of a thrifter is busting out a $2 super chat, giving early, can't stay, probably getting some stuff done. But a little something for you. Super chat, super chat, super chat. What's with the pinching and biting? It's like you think you can secretly shut me up without them knowing, because I'm not going to call you out on your violence.
I'm abusive.
You're very abusive, unnecessary.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. Anyway, all right, let's get into our sold highlights for the last week. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here. Vicky definitely had some cool stuff sell, as did I. Let's tell us what you got. What you got?
Okay, so this was something that I picked up for free from my buddy Derek, or our buddy Derek, neighbor here. We were helping him clean out his garage to store some of our stuff over there. And I actually took an offer on this, and it sold for $80. It's just a bunch of Littlest Pet Shop stuff. I took a lot of your advice, the people in the chat. I did research, and Katie did help me. She was bored one night. And we researched to see if any of them were worth selling on their own. And not so much. I mean, yeah, $10, $15 a piece, but for me, not really interested. There weren't any of the super desirable ones. So basically just...
I was all excited, and I was like, I'll sit down and look them up for you. And let's just say I was disappointed.
Yeah, so I just sold them as a lot. I mean, they were free. I was pretty happy to take an offer on them, and they sold them in under a week.
Yeah, very cool.
So it was pretty cool.
Very cool. So it's kind of like, because Derek gave these to you, so it's kind of like they're paying us to store stuff in their garage.
Pretty
much. I feel like you really hosed them on this one. All right. So my first one I have on here is a Sears sportswear cardigan sweater. I don't.
That's such a Mr. Rogers sweater.
Yeah, I don't always look in the sweater section, but I do. When I do, I definitely pick up a lot of cardigans. That tends to be my thing as far as sweaters go. And these shawl collar ones are really popular. And so this was just a nice one. It was like practically dead stock. It looked really, really nice.
It was crispy.
And a lot of times, like I have this listed as pre-owned. You can see my conditions. I say it's in good use condition, and I'll say it might be dead stock. Doesn't even look worn, because I can't really say it's dead stock, but it just looks so nice. And so it was the Sears stuff. A lot of the Sears stuff from like the 70s is just really cool and sells really well. I actually took an offer for $55 for this, and the reason I took an offer for $55 is because it was somebody from Canada. So I knew I wasn't going to have to pay shipping, because I do free shipping domestically. So that was going to save me right there. It was going to save me like $7. Plus, because I use the simple export rate on Pirate Ship, I knew I was going to make a little bit of extra money on top of that, because I get such a good discount with them. So $55, perfect. Sent that on up to Canada. So
nice. And yes, Laura says, "Oh, Mr. Rogers, you say?"
Oh man, Laura found the coolest thing. Which
Mr. Rogers, she has some Mr. Rogers autographed stuff and a vintage Mr. Rogers T-shirt, like in a frame. I'm so jealous because I love Mr. Rogers, and if I were to buy anything that was collectible like that, I would definitely buy that. I can't justify the price, and I want her to make money on it because it's a great thing.
Yeah. So Rags, otherwise known as Sandy, asked me how did I know it was vintage. There's a couple of things. So first of all, I don't even know, does Sears even make clothes anymore? Do they have
not their own
the Sears brand?
No, they don't. It's just like anything else. You learn what tags look like and why they why they look vintage. But if you take a quick look at the second tag on the right, you can see made in Taiwan, ROC. That stopped being visible on tags or anything really in the early 80s.
Yeah.
So that's part of, it's just knowledge. It's just learning.
Knowing, and then understanding just even like the style of the tag and stuff like that. So, but yeah, these shawl collar ones with the cable knit, they're really nice. All right, next one for you.
So this is, I'm super into vintage electronics. I really love vintage electronics. I like dead stock electronics. I've been finding quite a bit of them lately.
Well, let's be clear. You love them to sell them.
Yeah,
it's not like you're home playing with your vintage.
Right. I'm not like collecting them or anything. I love to sell vintage electronics. So Realistic was the Radio Shack brand. It was like the cheap Radio Shack brand even. So I found two of these things. I think I paid anywhere from $3 to $5 a piece for them. And I had somebody that bought both of them. And they were on sale, and they were like, they got rolled into a sale because they had only been listed about a week. They bought both of them. They paid $110 for both. And I think I had at best $10 invested in the both of them. So
yeah, very cool. So Laura wants to know, do you know when they dropped ROC from Taiwan on tags?
I couldn't tell you the exact date, but it was early 80s, Laura. I'd have, that's just what's coming to my mind. I would have to look it up. I don't have anything in front of me to look up right now.
Yeah. All right. So
I'm sure somebody can do that investigation and let us know.
But some of the stuff, it's like, you know what? It's not science. It's like, what? The worst case scenario is that you mislabel something in the wrong decade. And anybody who's like collecting and especially spending up for specific, time periods of clothing, they know what they're looking for.
They know what they're looking for. And every once in a while, you're going to get what I call cuspers. So you're going to get stuff that's late 70s, early 80s, and sometimes it looks more 70s than 80s in style. And that's okay, because you're going to go with what style it is.
I'm not going to lose a bunch of sleep about whether or not I misidentify something by a few years or even 10 years. Because it's just not worth the time, and you just you gain that knowledge over time, and maybe like a little while down the road, I'm like, oh, I was wrong about that, and I adjust how I title things.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to go overboard worrying about it. I think I've talked about that. There's no vintage police coming after us. So.
Right.
Anyway, all right. So my next one is this Oakland Athletics, Oakland A's satin bomber jacket. This is a vintage 80s Chalkline USA. This one was awesome. Mm-hmm. So this one, I did label it as dead stock because I bought it from somebody who their husband used to work for, I don't remember what company they worked for, but they worked for some company, I think within the athletic world or whatever, and at some point at this company they all got these jackets for free and had never been worn, and you could tell it was just in immaculate perfect condition, crispy condition, just this beautiful jacket. And I bought it at the great garage sale that they have a couple times a year at the Silverton casino out in the parking lot, and I bought this for only $20, guys. Mm-hmm. $20. And I took an offer for $150. It'd been listed for a while. I've had this up for like 6 months, but it's one of these things where, especially when it's a really, really cool piece that I just like having in a store, I will keep it around for longer than maybe I normally would with something else. But $150 I thought was a great offer. So I was like, heck yeah.
So there's a quick question in there. In regard to testing or knowing electronics work, do I list untested? No. Actually, if something is new and it's old stock and it's dead stock, I'm assuming that it works. I am shipping it as new. I'm selling it as new. I'm selling it as working condition. If for some reason a customer tries something out and it doesn't work, then I'm more than happy to take a return on it, but that has never happened. Mm-hmm. The other things that are vintage but are not new, yes, I do test them if I'm able to test. The only time I've never been able to test something was, I think there's been times when I've sold reel-to-reel players, and those I don't know how to test because I don't know how to thread the reels because this was long before my time. Mm-hmm. And I don't, but everything else I have, I have cassettes, I have CDs, I have 8-tracks, I have mini cassettes for mini cassette recorders, and things like that. I will test. You just test and things power up and all the buttons work. It's going to work.
Yeah.
And if for some reason somebody says it doesn't work, then you either accept the return or give them a refund.
Yeah.
It's not worth the time to test everything. If it's dead stock and it's in a box and it's never been removed from the box, except when I take it apart to take a photo of it, I'm not going to say it's untested and may or may not work.
So
No.
Denise says, are old stock and dead stock the same thing? So a lot of times they'll refer to it as new old stock or dead stock. And yeah, they're pretty much the same thing.
They're mostly
dead stock
used,
is you said a lot in like the
clothing.
streetwear community, like shoes and clothing. And it's basically just, it's brand new
not just
product.
not just streetwear. It's
yeah.
used for all kinds
But I'm
of
just saying
vintage,
the
vintage
word
clothing.
dead stock is used more than the phrase new old stock. Like I don't really hear in the streetwear community, they don't say new old stock, they say dead stock generally. But it's all the same thing. And it just basically means it's brand new, a lot of times with tags. And it's never been worn or anything, but it's no longer something that's commercially available. So it's old, and especially if it's vintage. So there's a lot of people like they collect jackets or sneakers, they love to find stuff that's dead stock.
Right.
All right, next one for you.
So this was something I actually, I believe this was given to me on consignment maybe 2 years ago. This literally sat in my store for about 2 years, and a customer didn't want it back. It was somebody that I had actually canceled the consignment with a long time ago. But this was tested. This was one you can actually see in the photo that I tested. The light and the bulb and everything worked. And I took an offer on this. I happily took an offer because it's been sitting in my stupid store for like 2 years. But again, it didn't cost me anything. So I took an offer on this for, I think it was $75. I think it was $75. And it was free shipping because I put everything free shipping. This was actually only going to California. So the shipping was under $15, even though it was big and a little bit heavy, because this did weigh about 10 pounds. I may not have taken free shipping somewhere else, but it's not a huge box. So I did ship it FedEx.
Nice. All right, so my next one is this Monster Energy leather motorcycle jacket. And I actually got this at the Broadacres swap meet, flea market. There's a guy there that has pretty much a permanent kind of little building there. And he has tons and tons and tons of like leather jackets, motorcycle jackets, racing jackets, as well as jerseys and like a lot of the kind of stuff I want. And he's pretty cool, and he'll work with you if he knows you're a reseller. He'll give you better prices.
Yeah, he's really nice.
Yeah, and so this jacket, I had seen it the first time we went, and he was just wanting a little bit too much for it. And then we went back like months later. I saw that he still had it, and so I was able to get it for $30. I ended up taking an offer for $110. Now I have on here vintage. I'm pushing it when I'm saying vintage, but it's probably early because I think Monster started in like 2001, so it's probably like early 2000s. But you know, whatevs. Like a lot of times I will say something is vintage if it's relatively old. Like I know vintage is technically like 20 years or more, but I'll sometimes push it a little bit on like a 15-year item. But it's pretty cool.
Well, I think the jacket may have been vintage.
Yeah, I think here, let me look at it.
It just depends on I think that jacket.
Yeah, the jacket is probably vintage.
I don't know how vintage the Monster logo is, but
well, yeah, because like I said,
it was painted
Monster
on.
started, I believe, like 2001, 2000. But yes, I think
that jacket is older.
Is vintage.
Yeah, I don't think it was painted on a new jacket, so I think you're probably okay.
Well, yeah, again, no vintage police. But anyway, so I took an offer for $110 because I do think it's kind of like a pretty specific piece that, you know, I was like, yeah, 110, that's good. All right, next one for you.
So this was one that I did take an offer on. It was vintage, you know, tiki Hawaiian dress. It's actually a very pretty dress. It has a big waterfall back. It's very pretty. It's not just your standard muumuu. It's a Hawaiian beautiful dress. Anyway, this sold for, I took an offer for $75, and it went to California, and they were very pleased with it. I had it sitting for maybe 6 months or so, maybe a little bit longer. So
doesn't seem like you have it very long, but yeah.
Yeah, I have had it for about 6 months.
I mean, okay. O'Shan deals, what is the length max on cubic? Is it length plus width for total length? You know, I don't have the chart in front of me. But it's just look up cubic rates, and they should give you like the numbers on all of that.
Yeah, there's a chart. There are several charts online if you just Google cubic rates.
Yeah, and if you put a box in a bag, if you don't alter the bag size, then you should just be measuring it before you put anything in the bag, length times width. But sometimes I will wrap a bag around a box and tape it all down, and then I'll still basically measure why can't I think of the word? Measure the length and width and height and everything of the box. The dimensions, that's the word I'm looking for. So you can totally do that if you can still measure it once you tape down like the size of it. But I'll do that if I can only fit it in a larger bag, but the bag's a little bit big and I want to like make sure I'm doing the smallest size possible. All right, next one I have is this Izod cardigan sweater. So again, here's another cardigan. This is from the 90s. This one is kind of interesting because it has this this little dude embroidered on it, and it's Arizona.
Is it a Kachina doll? Is that what they call that?
I said
you put Aztec warrior, but I think it's like a Kachina doll.
What's a Kachina? I don't know.
I think you missed the boat on that one.
Whatever. Well, I missed it and I still sold it for a good price. But I sold it for $55.99, but it also went international. I can't remember what country it went to, but that means I did not have to pay for shipping, and I made a little bit on the discount as well from Pirate Ship, the simple export rate. So I actually did really well with this. I think this one went to Canada as well, so it was like $70-something they paid to get this. But it's a really nice old like 90s, not super old, but 90s Izod made in the US acrylic cardigan. Yeah, Reg says Kachina. I'd have to look it up. I don't know what it looks like.
It looks like that. It looks like that thing.
You look like that. Rude. Rude, guys. She's been real rude to me. All right, next one for you.
I did show this in a haul video a few weeks ago. Actually, this was listed for maybe a week and a half. This got rolled into a sale and it sold for $155. I probably could have held out for more, but it was a little beat up. You know, not everything still worked, but the edges were a little bit worn. The interior was good, and it was missing a pull tab on the zipper, which was an easy fix. Someone had put like a, I don't know, like a safety tie, I guess. And the other zipper worked fine. That was actually just the zipper for the expansion part of the luggage. It wasn't the main zipper. In any case, it was it's an older Toomey piece. I did pay up for it a little bit. I believe I paid $23 for it at Savers, but it sold for $156, and it's only going to Texas. And I am just going to bag that up in contractors' trash bags. So it's going to be a couple of trash bags taped up and slap a label on it and send it along its way, because it's luggage. Luggage is meant to be thrown all over the place and has been already. It's not new. So it's not going to damage the item.
Right. Very good. All right, so my next one is this Tommy Hilfiger puffer jacket. I showed this in a haul video a few months ago. This is one that like my buddy Cool Jacket Jim from Oregon had sent me because there was something of mine that he wanted. And so we did a little tradey trade. And so I had it in store for a while, but I had it priced pretty high. And I think it's pretty awesome. But I have noticed that some of like the Tommy stuff that has been taking longer to sell. But it's got like this nice huge embroidery on the back.
Tommy for your mommy.
Yes.
Sorry. That was a
it's the way to say that real awkwardly.
I did.
That was your Paul Cantu impression.
Paul Cantu and Ryan Roots.
Yeah. Anyway, so I ended up taking an offer for this $430. So I sold it for $130. But I was pretty happy with that. And I was able to get it down into a 15 by 12 poly mailer. So I was able to ship it for like $8.50 through cubic shipping. So it was awesome.
Stacy, contractor bags are just heavy duty lawn bags, trash bags. They're just like heavy duty trash bags. They're just a little thicker than the kind that you get from, I don't know, the grocery store. They're a little thicker than Gladware or whatever it's called. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a nice thick bag. All right, next one for you.
So I showed this one last week, maybe the week before. Again, don't be afraid to buy a big bulky items or items that are not the easiest things to ship. I can't stick this in a poly mailer. I paid $20 for this. Showed it last week or the week before. It didn't even have the power cord. I could have bought the power cord for it, but they're only like $6 online, the generic power cords. And I said that in the listing. I didn't even take the stickers off it. Tested it. It had batteries in it. It worked. And it sold for what you see there, $155. Sold to California. I happened to have a box that fit it perfectly. I was very happy about that. And it shipped for, I think, $17, $18, something like that. So it sold pretty quickly. This sold within a week as well.
Very cool. All right, I got a couple you have one more sale. I've got a couple of Etsy ones. So let's go with my first Etsy one that I wanted to share. So this one, it's a vintage wool leather varsity jacket. And this is something that maybe some of you guys would skip over because it is branded with this company, and it's not like it's something exciting. It's BMC West. It's like I think it's building materials. So it's just like a building materials company, and it's got, I mean, it's all embroidered on the back.
But before you, I would never buy something like that that's branded with a local company or and I love that you do, and you do so well with it.
Yeah, and I think this is a really cool jacket. It's in beautiful condition. It's like I said, it's like vintage 90s. It was made in the US.
It's from Portland, Oregon.
That's the company's from Portland. And so I actually sold this on Etsy, and it sold for $59.99. And I believe this went to Portugal. And because of the weight of the jacket, they paid something. They paid over $100 total to have this shipped to them, to buy it and have it shipped to them. So again, I didn't have to pay for the shipping, and I made a little off of the shipping because I was using Simple Export on Pirate Ship. And I think it's an awesome sale, and I'm sure a lot of you guys probably would just pass something like this by.
I totally would have before
has
you.
Like a local company branding on it.
Yeah, like now that I know that these things sell, I would pick them up.
Yeah,
but I would never have before.
And there you go. All right, next one for you, or this is your last one? This one's your
This is my last one. I thought this was pretty cool. So again, I think I showed this last week or the week before. I was one of the two. I know we were with Victoria when I bought this, when Victoria Smith was visiting. So this was I paid $5. I think they sold it to me for $5.99, and then I paid 25% off of that. So it sold again within a week for $124.76. What you see there, free shipping. It cost me $10 to ship because this went to Hollywood Paramount Studios,
Bungalow
24, which is used by Netflix. So I have no idea what series this is going to because they didn't say it went to a specific person.
Yeah. Now, first I was thinking Stranger Things, but we were just at Universal, and Universal was doing the whole Stranger Things. So I think they're the ones to actually make Stranger Things. I did a little research. I could be totally wrong. I haven't watched the show yet, but there is a show that just the first season was just out, and it's called, is it Haunting on Hill House? That show, I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know, but I looked it up, and that show is being made by Paramount Pictures, and it does flash back between the past and the present. So I'm wondering if it's possible that that's the show that maybe they're doing. I know they're working on the second season, but I have no idea if this era has anything to do with when the flashbacks are happening. So if any of you guys watch that show, I don't know if you think it would make sense for them to have a prop like this.
I don't know. I've never seen the show, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So this one is, JC says, something that you would have assumed works. I plugged it in, pressed all the buttons. I'm assuming it works. Yes.
Yeah. But now it's obviously going to be a prop.
If it's going
thing,
to a prop house,
matter.
I have sold dozens and dozens of things to prop houses and movie sent places over the last 15 years of selling. I have never so much as had a return or a question or a comment on anything I've ever sold because they just have certain budget for things. Yeah. It's not even an issue.
But it did light up?
It did. I plugged it in, lit up, buttons
and that's
worked.
Probably, even if
the clock was flashing.
Yeah. So it should be fine.
Yeah, I wasn't really worried about it. I mean, something like that, I suppose you could test it, just run some water through it.
Sandra from Wicked 13 Vintage says it could be on Mindhunter too. Yeah, I don't know what company does Mindhunter because it's supposed to be Paramount, so that would make sense as well as far as time period. All right.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. I love whenever I sell stuff and it's going to a movie prop. I sold something to just a couple of months ago. What was the Miss Maisel show? I sold some vintage clothing too, which I thought was awesome.
Very cool. Very cool. I've sold stuff to companies. Like I've never sold anything to be on a show that I know of. Actually, that's not true. I did sell one thing to like some studio, but I wasn't really sure what it was. It was something in New York. It could have just been like a stage play or something, but I've sold a lot to like Perry Ellis. I had a Perry Ellis America jacket, and it was delivered to the Perry Ellis, like
I sold something Jenko jeans. I sold vintage Jenko jeans to Jenko. I sold something oh my god, I can't remember the name right now. Michael Kors. I sold something Michael Kors to Michael Kors. Yeah. I sold a vintage purse to Michael Kors. So that was something different.
So it's like they're either like trying to get it back just for their collection, or they're trying to, because they're like recycling styles, because obviously we're on like a weird 20-year cycle where stuff from the 90s is really popular again, and they want to like maybe design something new, and they want to be able to look at like what they did back in the day. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've sold some really cool stuff. I've sold to the London Opera House before. Over the years, I sold stuff to the Boy Scouts Museum of America that was Boy Scouts related. That was, vintage. That was years ago, and I've sold things to museums more than once.
Yeah,
so it's kind of cool.
Awesome. Thrift and Flipped Art, didn't you have something for Young Sheldon? Was that you or is that somebody else?
I think that might be somebody else. I don't think I sold anything to Young Sheldon. The last one was Fabulous Miss Maisel or whatever before this, and that was a couple months ago.
Ooh, Thrifty Chick. I sold vintage Nike to a Nike designer. Regs, you were wondering why they'd want it back. Like I said, like either maybe they want to have like a collection of past designs,
sometimes
or
designers
they want to use it
as
as an inspiration for a new design, and maybe they're trying to do something retro. But anyway, okay, let me do my last one here. This is another Etsy one, and this is just a vintage. I do a lot of vintage sportswear. I do a lot of sweatshirts, like t-shirts and sweatshirts are a big thing I do other than jackets. And I find that I tend to get higher prices, better prices on Etsy when I do sell them there. This is a Pittsburgh Steelers sweatshirt from the 90s. I sold it for $47.99. At the same time, it was priced on sale on eBay for like, I think $41.99 or something like that. So I actually sold it for more. Woo! But I love selling stuff on Etsy. I'm hoping the sales pick up even more there.
Red Neckerson. So I sold bongo drums to the Blue Man Group. I actually know one of the drummers in Blue Man Group. Two of them actually. The one in Vegas anyway.
Are they? But they're like constantly recycling people, aren't they?
No, they have some specific people that are. I know Jeff Tatora and I know Blaz Elias, and Blaz is the drummer for Slaughter, which is a band in the 80s. And Jeff Tatora has been in a lot of bands, but they're two staff drummers that they have. They have drummers in the background that are not painted like Blue Men.
Is it wrong if I say that they all look the same to me?
The Blue Men do. Yes.
Yes,
they have wigs on, and no, it's not wrong. They have wigs on and very white bald caps and painted blue, and weirdo.
You're a weirdo.
They do kind of all look the same.
All right, so that's it for our sold highlights for the week. Hopefully things pick up here since my sales have been kind of lame.
Oh, look at this. Our friend Jen is in there.
What up, Jen Walker? What?
Jeff Tatora played with her husband at Banff the other night.
Very cool. Very cool. Jen, she said, Jen said, I have no idea what we're talking about here. We're just popping in to say hi. Hello. Hello. Big Drift. Blue loves better. Rude. All right. So
you want to start?
Oh, and also, so we had last week we had challenged. We basically, I like.
There was a challenge.
Basically, I like to just like on the fly make up stuff. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I decided to basically pit Alice and the Big Drift Thrift against Dana of House of Rocks in a challenge, a hashtag challenge on Instagram. So after we do our haul, we will review. We will do a weekend review of,
and we will announce the winner of the hashtag throwdown.
Yeah, basically,
which was pretty good. Christine,
it's actually called a hashtag face off.
Zip it. We don't want to hear anything about The Walking Dead. We just started season 9.
Shut your mouth. You better shut your mouth, Christine. Okay.
Zip it.
Okay.
Zip it.
Okay. Anyway. All right. So let's do our haul first because I think we found some pretty sweet stuff.
All right.
Vicky was like, I want to come with you for your first couple of stops. And I'm like, okay.
Because I didn't source it all this week.
She's like, I need to get some work done, but I don't want to source, so I don't want to source for too much. And then she goes, and then like a little while later, she's like, well, maybe I want to go to some more. And I'm like, okay, listen, woman. You either get to go to the first 2, and I'll bring you home, or you're in for the whole ride. Those are your 2 choices.
That's true.
I'm like, because I'm not gonna, because once I go to the other ones, I'm not coming back. So you're either in it to win it, or you are gonna beg off after the first 2.
The reason why we're not caught up, Christiane, is because it only goes to season 8 on Netflix, and we don't have cable. So it's although my new friend from last night did tell me he's going to give me his log on to his Dish Network so I could catch up on The Walking Dead specifically.
All right, there you go.
So we're going to do it.
We'll do it. But anyway,
you don't get AMC when you don't have cable TV and you don't watch network TV anymore. We haven't had cable I haven't had cable in a couple of years. So if it's not on Netflix, Hulu, or Prime, I don't watch it.
Yeah. So Vicky, she came with me to the first two, and then she like had like a really bad headache, but she was like apparently desperate to keep hanging out with me, even though she had a headache.
I missed her.
And so I was like, get over your damn headache, because if you keep going after two and you decide that like, oh man, your head hurts, too bad, you're staying with me, because I'm really nice and sweet like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
See, I'm not the only one that's mean. She's mean to me.
But she took a bunch of ibuprofen and she was fine. And we actually ended up.
I managed.
We ended up skipping the last stop, Crazy Town, just because, we ran out of time. But I seriously got so much stuff that I was like, I don't really need anymore, and we can skip the last one. Mm-hmm. And the Charleston one, it's the one that's either hit or miss for me. Sometimes I'll find a bunch of really cool stuff. But out of all of them, it's the one that more times I will leave with like one or two things. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, it's okay.
Susan, I totally do need to drink more water. You're absolutely correct.
I'm always dehydrated.
Always. I do not drink enough water. I know that.
Yep.
But I had a headache the entire day and night last night. It didn't actually kick out until my friend Rachel actually gave me one of her headache pills, which helped kill it. Couldn't get rid of it.
Christiane, the Crazy Town is the one that's on Charleston. It's the one that's kind of closest to the Strip. Pretty close to the Strip.
In Charleston. It's on Charleston.
On Charleston.
So no, this is not No Shirt Sunday, you weirdo, Jen. Actually, it's No Pants Friday, and it's Sunday. So this is
but I pretty much don't ever wear pants. I'm sort of wearing pants right now, but they're pajama pants. That doesn't really count. That doesn't really count. Anyway, you want to start?
No, you start.
Well, what are you reaching back for?
I always start because I'm getting my stuff ready.
Don't be distracting me with your messing around.
I'm crinkling. I'm making noise. Go.
You're like, oh, you start. Oh, are you doing something over there?
You're such an ass. Seriously. Such a go.
What?
Go.
What?
Go.
What?
You heard me.
What?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll start with mine. So I'm going to start with probably one of the cooler things I found, and I could use a little advice from you guys, because maybe I have, an idea of what to do, but maybe you have a better suggestion. So this is an awesome, this is just the brand of the jacket is Red Cap. You know that they do kind of
like Dickies. It's like
Dickies, the
workwear.
mechanics jacket. So it's a mechanics jacket, but it is a King of the Hill mechanics jacket. So it's like, I don't know how well you can see the color, but it's kind of that forest green. And it's King of the Hill embroidered.
It kind of looks like the jacket that the dad wears on King of the Hill.
Yeah, and I would assume that there are jackets out there that are from his company,
Hank,
like his fake company on the show. But this is like, I'm assuming this is probably like a crew jacket, because generally when it's like to be sold to the public, it will be branded. The actual tag will be branded with whatever the show is. But here's the problem with this, guys. There's no zipper, so both sides of the zipper, the little stopper thing is completely gone, and it's like that on both sides, and you can see that right there. And there's no actual pull because it probably just came right off, so it has no zipper at all. I was able to get them. They had a price at $13.99. I was able to get them to bring the price down to $7.99. Plus, I had a 20% off coupon. So you can sometimes let them know at Savers that something's damaged, and they'll maybe, if they're nice, they'll give you a better price. So I figured it was still worth getting. I want to take it, I guess, probably to a dry cleaner, one that does repairs, and see. But I don't know if anybody has like a better idea of a better place to go to get something like a zipper replaced.
No, that's always where I go to get stuff done.
I don't know.
Dry cleaners have tailors that work for the dry cleaner, and there's usually a price posted on the wall for a zipper repair or zipper replacement.
Yeah, so hopefully it's not going to be more than like maybe like $20, because
here's the thing. The best thing that you can do for this, in my opinion, is go buy your own zipper at Joann's. You're going to measure this. You're going to go buy your own zipper at Joann's because it's a metal zipper. You don't want them replacing it with a cheap-ass plastic one. So go buy a metal zipper, which will cost you a few bucks, not much.
See, Crystal says the seamstress inside the indoor mall. Which indoor mall are you talking about? The Galleria or whatever is the Galleria, the one that goes inside?
Well, yeah, but that's only one. There's probably more than one.
Well, I'm just asking. She's local, so if she knows, I'm just saying. I know that like a lot of dry cleaners will have somebody, but I would like to know of a place that's like known that somebody's been to, and they're like, oh yeah, they do really good work. Because I don't want it to be shoddy. I don't want it to be crappy. I want it to look nice.
Yes, my cheap dry cleaner does have a cheap seamstress.
But they're also the ones that's like they won't even like wash a leather wool Letterman's jacket.
Most places won't though. That's not a
whatever. Some places do, and they just charge you like a ridiculous amount of money.
Right. That's true.
So ours, I feel like, is a little bit eh. They're great on super cheap dry cleaning. Are you rolling your eyes at me?
I am. It's a seamstress that you go to. There's a bazillion of them. It's not like rocket science. You go anywhere and get a seamstress.
Well, I asked a question, and it was not for nothing because Crystal, who's here in Vegas, has some knowledge to share with me. So it looks like it paid off, guys.
You're not going to get a zipper replaced for less than $20.
I'm not talking about the price. I'm talking about it being done well.
It's not a difficult process. If you sew, a zipper repair and replacement is easy. It's stitch ripping. It's single stitch both sides. I don't sew, but that's how it's done. It's not hard.
Our friends are back.
Our friends are back. It's going to be loud.
Interrupting the show.
Sorry. You're going to hear the dogs going nutso for a minute.
They got to go crazy for a little bit. Grizz, we're trying to do a show here. Come on, Grizz.
Get with the program, Grizzle.
You're ruining everything. All right.
Yeah, I have no desire to replace a zipper. Like I'm not a good sewer, so I always take stuff like that to a seamstress.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so Hip Flip and Mom says, fly me to Vegas and I'll fix it for free. I feel like that's kind of an expensive way to get a zipper.
It may be.
Like, I appreciate that you're doing it for free, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to be spending some money on that flight. Okay, so yeah, I'm for sure paying somebody else to do it. I'm certainly not doing it. So here's another one this is one I grabbed just because I couldn't resist because I was just really curious about it. So this is a hoodie, and it says The Awakening of Oz. So it's like a Wizard of Oz thing, but then it's got Melissa Etheridge as Dorothy and all these other peeps on it. Honestly, like I looked this up when I was in the store, and when I Googled Awakening of Oz, nothing came up. When I Googled it with Melissa Etheridge, nothing came up. So I don't know if this was like a one.
I don't know who any of those other people are that are.
Yeah, I haven't looked them up yet. It's Mark Brown, Philip Saki, I don't know, Fritz Lewack, and Paul Trudeau. And it's a Leopold management production produced by Bill Leopold. So I have no idea what this is. I don't know if it was like a one-time performance or show, live show or something like that, but there's no internet footprint for it, which is weird. But I kind of paid like $8 for this anyway.
Victoria Smith said that's her band.
That's her band? Oh, all the people are her band. So
okay.
But it's still strange that like Awakening of Oz, that there would be like no mention of it on, like if it was a show, like the name of a show, you would think it would say something.
I don't know.
So that only made me more interested in buying it because I was like, it's something unique
and weird
that you obviously can't find anywhere. And plus, if you like Wizard of Oz,
her old band from the Lucky album. Look at Victoria doing her Google while she's going. That was probably the last good album that she did. So that was like the last album I owned.
Yeah. So I feel like, for somebody who's like a big Melissa Etheridge fan, this could be like a really cool thing to like.
I like Melissa Etheridge.
Pick up. And hopefully I can make some good money on it. Yeah, you like Melissa Etheridge and you didn't know? You didn't know?
Shut up.
I'm just saying, guys.
I've seen her in concert a few times. I really like Melissa. I sing Melissa Etheridge. I like Melissa Etheridge.
Yeah.
Oh, Victoria's a groupie. See, I like her a lot. I think she's got a fantastic song.
Voice. I like her. She likes her a lot. She likes her a little too much.
And Lucinda Williams.
Too much.
I like that. I like the sound. I like their sound. Susan Tedeschi. Happen to like really fucking ass.
I'm just saying.
No, I don't like the Indigo Girls.
Her favorite band when she was younger was Indigo Girls.
It was not.
And who else? What's her name?
Katie Lang.
Yeah, Katie. Oh yeah, Katie.
No.
She's real into Katie Lang.
Neither one. Sorry. I like the raspy, husky singing voices. That's why I like Melissa Etheridge, Susan Tedeschi. Yep.
Just saying.
She's such an ass.
All right. Do you want to go? Because I took a little while there.
Sure. Since are you done?
I'm going to stay here. I'm going to be you. The wig wasn't so far away. I put it on and sigh and roll my eyes a lot.
Are you done?
And maybe like pinch you under the desk.
Are you done?
Go ahead.
She's such a jerk sometimes, you guys. Seriously. All right. So I found this little action figure. It's in it's the V for Vendetta, anonymous looking guy. But it's not anonymous. It's
The
just
guy.
it's
It's
V
the guy.
for Vendetta.
Well, it's the Guy Fawkes mask.
Yeah. So anyway, it's new in the package, although the package is a little beat up. I paid $8 for it, and this thing is selling for like 75 buckaroos for this little action figure. So it's kind of I'm kind of psyched about that one. It's not that old. It's like 2006 or something like that. I have to look it up exactly.
Cool.
I found it, but it's just the little 8-inch action figure, 7-inch, 8-inch, something like that.
Well, I mean, what year did V for Vendetta come out?
I don't know. I have no idea. I never saw the movie.
I
don't know. Didn't see it. Although, okay, so this one is probably not my highest price thing, but I think it's my favorite thing that I thrifted. I paid $4 for it, and it is a set of old Disney film strips and cassettes that were made for schools for educational purposes. So I think they're really cool. There's only a few of them online, and there's only a few that have sold. They all sell for $50 and up.
Super awesome.
I'm going to list it for higher than that. This particular one, there aren't any of.
Are all the tapes
they're all different ones. Yeah, it has all the tapes. It's Paul Bunyan, Windwagon Smith, which I've never heard of, Johnny Appleseed, and Pecos Bill.
I remember seeing the Johnny Appleseed ones.
So it comes with the little the film reel and the cassettes. So I think it's pretty cool.
Very cool.
I'm really excited about these. So let's get the instructions
who is Mike
in there.
Fink?
I don't know. This is another one.
He's an American folk
hero.
Victoria,
hero.
We need you to Google that. Who is Mike Fink?
Mike Fink.
American folk hero.
So, Grizz, shut the hell up.
Aw, poor little Grizz. Well, she's misunderstood.
So it's Tall Tales in American Folklore is the name of this particular set.
Yeah, it's super cool.
I wish they had more. I would have bought them all. I just think they're so cool.
Do you think would you consider selling them separately, or you
no,
only sell as a set? Don't think it would? Okay.
I wouldn't break up the set.
Okay.
Not in this case, because it's meant to be a set. So
yeah.
All right. So speaking of movie props and vintage things, people have talked about this and similar items, in groups and on Instagram and things like that. I don't think we've ever talked about them on our show, but guys, dead stock vintage hygiene products. Let's put it that way.
Weird.
So vintage. 2 boxes of vintage maxi pads. You would never think to pick this type of thing up, right? Vintage maxi pads, Pampers, all kinds of things like that. So these are from 1989. And these I paid 75 cents a box for. They were at Savers, which is weird. They don't usually have things like this at Savers. 75 cents a box, unopened box. I'm going to sell these for about $65 a piece. It's kind of... Allison says Mike Fink is opening up for Melissa.
Real quick, Middle East Millie says, Katie, I know you mentioned mailing out and padded flat rate mailers. I see there are flat rate Tyvek envelopes that seem to be larger. Have you ever used them? And so I'm just going to say, because somebody just answered the question kind of, the Tyvek envelopes, yeah, Kathy Hughes says are not flat rate. So, okay, so for flat rate envelopes, there's the padded flat rate. And then there is a flat rate one that's like a cardboard kind of envelope. I don't really like using those. Some people will use them to ship jeans and stuff like that. And I've never liked to use those. So I just stick to the padded flat rate. But what you're talking about is a Tyvek priority envelope. It is not flat rate. It's a little bit bigger, but I will say I'm glad you reminded me that, because I'm going to look and see what the exact measurements of that bag is, because it might be a good idea to use that for cubic priority, because it is a priority bag. So anything that you're sending priority, whether it's straight priority or cubic, can go in that bag. So I'm actually going to look and see what the measurements on that bag are, because they might be really good for sending stuff cubic.
So these are definitely going to be purchased. I mean, I shouldn't say definitely. I'm not exactly sure why people purchase these things, but for the most part, I think it's movie props and TV props and things like that to be vintage for the era. And they're 89, not 69. So
I remember, was it Hello God, It's Me Margaret, or Dear God, It's Me, what's the name of the book?
Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret?
Yeah, Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret. Do you remember how she gets the maxi pads with the belt? I remember reading that. I'm like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
What is this?
What is a belt? I don't understand. Yeah. Belts are
Being a girl sounds complicated.
Belts are before our time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
All right. I got some cool stuff, guys. Wait till you know who I think is gonna like this? Who do you think is gonna like this?
Allison.
I think Allison, I think you're gonna appreciate this. More dead stock, more new old stock, new with tags from JCPenney. Check it out. Look at the beauty. This is actually like a really nice and heavy sweater.
It's nicely made.
It's very heavy. It's really nice quality. It's an awesome size. It's 2XL tall. And it's got these deer on it. And
for the hunter in your life.
Yeah. And this is actually like, it's from North Carolina. It's this dude. It's kind of funny. It's like, it's got this guy on it with his dogs that are looking real cute. And James Killen says, Jim Killen's paintings are a reflection of his appreciation and love for the beauty of nature and wildlife. So I guess this is like based on like one of his paintings. So it's ridiculous. It's a bit much, as my grandma, Donna Stapleton, would say. But I'm going to see if I can sell this puppy for like $60. That's my plan. What do you think? You think I can do it?
Sure.
2XL tall.
Sure.
Dead stock. New with tags. Grandpa's getting a new sweater for Christmas, guys. So there we go.
Okay, so Susan asked, when shipping international, do you have to have the country of manufacturer? If you know it, like anything else, you should be filling out your item specifics. But if you don't know it, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a difference whether it's local or international for that.
Rachel just popped in the chat and said, sorry we made the dogs bark. You should be. You should be sorry.
I'm sorry, you didn't say you are sorry.
All right, so, and then, so it's at Savers. I think this is the first, this was the first Savers we went to, because I ended up spending probably more than I've ever spent at one Savers before, and it was like $250, because I spied these awesome New Balance shoes. These are like grandpa shoes. Look at this.
Speaking of grandpa sweater, grandpa shoes.
Yeah, I'm getting the whole outfit together for grandpa, guys.
If anybody needs to shop for grandpa, go to Katie's store. Yep. Apparently, Christmas for grandpa.
Speaking of dogs barking, if you don't want your dogs barking, you need to get some good high quality grandpa shoes.
That was bad. That was like a grandpa joke. That was worse than a dad joke. That was like a grandpa joke.
Anyway, these have the Velcro, or I can't list it as Velcro because Velcro is Vera's word.
And loop closure.
Hook and loop closure shoes. They're so white that they're like, there we go. So these are brand new with tags.
Grandpa is hooked up.
Yep, Grandpa's going to be geared up and
made in the USA.
Well, they're assembled in the USA. And so now they were priced $20.99, and it was not a sale day, but I had coupons, and so my coupon I got 20% off. So I paid like, I don't know the math, whatever, $17 around there for these shoes. Now they're not like huge sellers; they might take a little while to sell, but I think I can sell for about $60. But because I was able to buy a whole bunch of them, I got 3 pairs of these, and they're all size 10. These are like walking shoes. And then I got 3 pairs of these. They're the exact same shoe, but they are with the regular laces. And all of these ones are 10.5. So 10, 10.5, 11.
They're like fading out because they're so white. You're not getting them.
They're so white.
Detail.
There you go.
Yeah. So the white ones are actually totally fine. They're not necessarily grandpa shoes, but the hook and loop closure ones, and all joking aside, they are perfect for the elderly. The hook and loop closure, especially for those in nursing homes and those that can no longer tie shoes because of arthritis or rheumatoid arthritis, or they can't dress themselves. Yeah. They're super easy to put on. And then when you close the Velcro, you know, those that walk in a walker or don't walk very well anymore at all, they're actually really good for that.
Yeah, the Velcro ones will probably sell faster.
I grew up working in nursing homes, and let me tell you something, those type of shoes are godsends for, you know, for the elderly.
Yeah, so those Velcro ones will probably sell faster, but yeah, so I paid about $17 for each of them, but there's only 2 sizes, so I only have to do 2 listings because there's the Velcro ones are all 10. And those are like really, if you ever look up like what are the most common shoe sizes for men, I believe 10.5 is like the one that's like the most common shoe size. So having those, they should sell pretty well.
5-day flipper.
Ooh.
I am a grandpa, and I'm all about the grandpa shoes. Good.
Middle East said the Tyvek envelopes are 11 5/8 by 15 1/8. I believe those will work for
They will work for
0.2
cubic
tier. Well, they'll definitely work for cubic, but I think that they'll work for the 0.2 tier, which is the one, the 15 by 12s. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought that
more.
up because those are free. And so I think I'm going to order a bunch of those to use for shipping my shoes in. Because why pay for the other ones?
That's true.
So there you go. There you go, guys. You heard it here. You learned it here.
We do have some, actually. I have some.
Yeah.
You don't usually use them, but I have some.
Well, now I'm going to. Okay.
I'll need to order some more then.
Yeah. I'm going to order some more then. Go ahead.
So something else that I picked up in the same store where you picked up those that were dead stock, I picked up 4 sets of dead stock sheet sets. They're not vintage. They are made for Macy's Martha Stewart collection. So this is the Whim Martha Stewart collection of sheets. I picked up 2 are full size and 2 are queen size. They were all Christmas themed. They all have different designs on them. One has like moose and reindeer or something like that. These are like Christmas snow globes. But I paid, they retailed for $120 a set. Not that that means a heck of a lot with Macy's and sales and things like that. But what I do see is that these are selling anywhere from $60 to $80 a set. And I paid $16.
You better get those listed.
So I did pay up a
Christmas.
little bit for them, but I think I can make great money on them. I'm pretty excited about them. And honestly, the Martha Stewart collection, even when they had the Martha Stewart collection at Kmart, her sheets are really well made. One thing is that I have to say is that this woman doesn't put her name on something that isn't good quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people will sell anything with their name on it, but she's not one of them. So the other thing I picked up, and I've been picking up some cool things lately, is this Lego kit. So this was $12.99, and then I got 20% off of that. So this is a new old stock. It's unopened. I actually lifted up the edge. I'm going to sell it as open box because I had to see if it, was retaped or whatever. But this is new. And there are only a couple of listed for well over $100. And then on Amazon, they sell really well. I'm not ungated for toys on Amazon. So these are not going on Amazon. They're going to go on eBay, but I will sell international. So this should go for over $100 at Christmas time.
Very nice.
Okay, you can go.
Okay, so I got a bunch of jackets that I'm excited about. I got this, so this is a chalk line, made in the USA, probably 80s jacket for the 49ers. Now, a lot of the chalk line stuff it is like, lined and quilted. This is just a really lightweight windbreaker, but it's like the, the satin bomber kind of style. But it's really thin, really lightweight. I'm not exactly sure I'll have to look up what the history of sales are for this particular kind, because like I said, it's a super lightweight one. But it was $11.99. And I got 20% off of that. But here's the tag, the chalk line tag. And it was made in the US. I find a lot of San Francisco 49er stuff. Vicky was just saying she never gets it, but
it just doesn't seem to sell for me. I mean, of course, we get a lot of it because we're on West Coast, almost coast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and because before the Raiders, we didn't have our own football team, and so there's a lot of people in the area that are big 49ers fans, so we end up finding a lot of stuff like that. So, yeah, Christiane says I have a jacket very similar to that 49ers one, been listed forever. Well, I'm hoping, the Chalkline brand is very, very popular when it comes to vintage streetwear stuff, sportswear, and so, I don't know, I sell it pretty well. I do fine with 49ers, so.
Yeah, Kathy, the sheet sets that I got are all new in the package. So, yeah.
And yes, Allison, I think they will fit a jail cell cut.
They should, yeah. Very fashionable jail cell cut.
Very fashionable. All right, so this is an interesting jacket, vintage jacket, and it says MV Nesco. It's an I, but I believe it's like Nesco 1. And it has it on the back. And what's the name for this kind of embroidery? Is there like a name for it?
I don't know. I would have just called it embroidery.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, this I looked
MV,
up,
is that Martha's Vineyard?
I don't think so. I looked it up briefly when I was in the store, and I think this might be some sort of military ship. But it's just cool. And this is, I don't know, the tag on it. It's like Nikki's Flag Shop, custom made flags. This is not a flag, but It's just an interesting jacket, probably from, I would say, the 80s, maybe the 70s. What do you think?
Nikki, at least they spell it correctly. Nikki. Yeah, I would have said 70s.
Yeah. So I grabbed this. I have no idea how it'll sell. I paid like $10 for it. So, but stuff like this, I always like to pick up because I seem to do well with it.
All right, Kathy, I'll definitely open up the packages and make sure the items are in there for sure. Not that I'm going to take it out of the sheets package completely, because God knows nobody could ever fold those things again the way they look in the packaging. At least I can. No. And if you can, you're from the devil.
That's true. That's true. All right, so here's another one. Another thing I got. This is kind of not really a gamble because they're T-shirts and they were only $1.49 each and then 20% off of that. But I have no idea what kind of value these might have. But these are two of the same shirt, and basically it says, "Bring NHL hockey to Las Vegas. Let's make history together." And if you've been paying attention and you see the shirt that I'm wearing, we have hockey in Vegas. So obviously this was. People were campaigning to get NHL team here in Vegas. Hashtag Vegas wants hockey.
Hashtag Vegas hockey team made history last year. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. So I don't know if a t-shirt like this is going to be something that somebody's going to want. I think it's a really cool t-shirt.
I think if you just put Vegas hockey NHL, people looking for the Golden Knights thing are going to find that and might think that's cool.
So, but like, the thing is, like, I have no idea if it's something they're going to desire or something they would think is cool and I could price up. We'll see. I got two of them. So I think it's pretty cool. And then I have...
How many things are you going to show?
500.
All right.
And then I have another hockey item. This is a Christmas sweater for the Chicago Blackhawks. How cool is that? I think it's pretty awesome. Perfect for the season. Paid about $12 for this. Probably paid up a bit for it, but I think I can sell it for $50-$60. And it's a sweet hockey Christmas sweater. So there. Not vintage, but
not vintage.
I think it's really cool. Anyway, all right, go ahead.
Okay, so I talked about how I love vintage electronics or dead stock electronics just to buy and sell. And one of the things I fell into at the Savers on Decatur, I think it was,
maybe,
was about 12 vintage new old stock or dead stock phones and phone systems. So this is one of them. This is, it's made by VTech. It's like this clear, lucite, cordless phone. It's like, yeah, I've got one in purple and one in blue, and not lucite, but because it's not that type of plastic, but it's clear and it's definitely so 90s. They're teal and purple and 90s colors. Anyway, I paid $4 a package for all of these things, and I got about 10 different ones, and I'm just going to show two examples. I'll probably sell this for $60 to $70. I paid $4 for it. Super easy to ship, easy to describe, all that kind of stuff.
I went to find her, and all of a sudden she had a cart filled with boxes of electronics.
I couldn't not do it. A bunch of answering machines, that kind of thing. This is the other one I picked up. Somebody was trying to sell it at a garage sale, looks like for $3, and then Savers priced it for $5. But again, old stock, Casio digital answering machine. This one, I'm gonna definitely sell this for at least $50 to $60 as well. I got two of them. They're two different models. So I'm not going to talk about all of them, but I picked up a whole bunch of stuff like this, and real easy to ship, easy to list. I've just been, as Sandy says, I've been a phone magnet lately.
Yep.
It's true. But I've been selling them. So,
Allison just retracted a message, but I thought it was funny. She said something along the lines of, my t-shirts were either cooler or not as cool as Jordan's bar mitzvah. Remember, it was from a video a while ago. Where I found it was like they had done custom hoodie sweatshirts that were for someone's bar mitzvah, and I thought that was like really bizarre. But I thought it was funny. I don't know why you retracted it, Allison.
Let's see. So I have only 3 more things to show. Am I gonna go? I'll just do all 3 of them.
I have a few things.
Okay. So I picked this up. So this is just a Mustang wall clock, but it's got like the neon inside. So I think that's pretty cool.
It works.
And it works. I checked. And I paid $8 for this, but even though it's used, they're selling for like between $70 and $100 with shipping. I'll probably sell it for about $50.
And it has the warranty card on the back of it. I wonder if you could still use that if there was any issues.
I don't know.
Does it have, like,
not.
Contact info?
Usually not, but that's okay. What I do need to do is check. I've got to get a little plug. I do have a bunch of little plugs like this to just check and make sure that the neon works. because it's not battery operated.
Pretty cool.
But it's a car shop clock. Yeah, Rags. They're really popular.
Yeah. Jennifer says the MV Nesco 1 shows in a list of World War II U.S. Navy vessels. So very cool.
Well,
very,
there you
very
go.
cool.
So even better.
Mm-hmm.
So he just hasn't done the research yet. A lot of times you guys will research stuff while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Obviously, she would have researched it before it got listed.
Yeah. I'll look something up briefly in the store if I'm not sure if I want to buy something. But then I won't research again until I'm actually listing it.
This was one of my fun scores yesterday. So this is a Lululemon. I never find Lululemon anything. Lululemon, it's a really big duffel bag, gym bag, yoga bag, whatever you want to call it, but it's big. It's a good sized one. It's black. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I paid $8. So they did not know the name or they would have priced this higher, believe me. So whoever did the pricing.
Ooh, the inside's fancy.
Yeah, the inside's fancy. It's got all kinds of like little pockets and things like that in it. It's a really good sized one. Solid bottom. So I'm going to list this for well over $100. And I'm sure I'm going to get that from most what I can say. So.
Ooh, G. Jasso says, I want to publicly thank Allison, Big Drift Thrift, for sharing my listings on Poshmark. I got my first sale today on the closet clear up. Very, very cool.
Nice.
Very cool. You still got one more?
I have one more thing. I got to stand up. Sorry guys.
Oh.
Sorry. I got to stand up for this one.
Good thing you got pants on.
Good thing I'm wearing pants.
Like always. Boring.
So this was one of my favorite finds. I'm going to be hard pressed to not keep this for myself, but I just know I would never wear it. So this is a vintage. People want to know vintage, what tags look like. This is kind of what a vintage tag looks like, one of them. This is a vintage jacket. Dana will like this one if she happens to be in here, or she'll see it when she photographs it this week. It's just a vintage jacquard heavy jacket with a faux fur collar and a faux fur trim.
Fancy.
And it has these 3/4 sleeves, which are popular in the 50s because people would wear long gloves. And it's very retro, very pinup. So this is 50s, late 50s probably. It's got these great little black buttons that have little black crystals in them. So
fancy.
It's a fancy, fancy jacket. I paid up for this one a little bit. I paid about $25 for it, but I am going to list it for around $200.
Awesome.
Also has a union label. Union labels definitely help to date things too. You can tell by, you look up some numbers, you can usually tell what decade the union label is from.
No, she's not getting a crazy town. Susan says, just to be clear, Katie, when shipping internationally, you don't pay for shipping, the buyer does. Yeah, when you set up your policies, you want to charge for shipping. And so, technically you could set it up to be free shipping for international, but nobody does that and nobody expects that. So I do calculate shipping for all my international stuff, and they are charged wherever they are located based on the weight of it. eBay automatically charges them for the shipping. Same thing with Etsy. I have shipping policy set up there. So international ones, they pay for it. So, all right, I got a bit of stuff left. Let me go through real quick. So I don't know what was up, but I found one of the stores we went to. I didn't find a lot of stuff, but I did find some awesome North Face. I believe it was a Denali, North Face Denali fleece jackets. These are the really popular ones. I should be able to sell this for about $100. This particular one has a hood, and for some reason they only had it priced at $449, and then I got 20% off of that. And so this is one that, like I said, it has a hood.
You paid under $4 for a North Face jacket, and a good North Face jacket.
Yeah, it's the one that's really the most popular one,
jerk.
where it's got like this like nylon.
She's such a jerk
here. And so it's a nice black one. Very cool. Very nice. And then I also got a blue one. This one does not have the hood. This one they priced
blue and black.
This one they priced $8.99. But again, I got
what is
20% off of that. But again, it's that same style, the Denali style. It's got like this on the back of the sleeve. So seriously, guys, I think Allison's going to be impressed that I got two of these. For so cheap. Again, $8.99, and they priced the other one $4.49. Don't ask me. And I got 20% off of those. Same store.
Big jerks.
Yep. Big jerks.
Jennifer's you're not too far behind, Jennifer. I actually, I did find the teal and the purple of that VTech phone. So I think that she said she had it in her bedroom in the 90s. Matched her all purple high school bedroom.
Nice. All right, got a few more things. This is something that I always will pick up. You will always pick this up. Anything rodeo. Look at this awesome jacket. This is a Reno Rodeo, wildest, richest rodeo in the West. All embroidered on the back. Looks super cool. They only had it priced at $6.99. I believe it's probably like vintage 90s. And look at that lining. That sweet cowboy roping.
Yeah,
Anyway.
rodeo stuff sells great.
Oh yeah, it
every
always
time.
sells. Always sells.
And it doesn't even matter what year it's from. It doesn't matter if there's a year on it and it's dated. It doesn't matter if they still buy it.
Yeah, yeah.
Allison says now you know how she feels all the time. $4
pretty
for a
much.
North Face?
Pretty much.
That would be paying up for Allison.
But this was only $6.99 and 20% off. And it's a 2XL made in the US. Like I should be able to sell this for at least like 50, 60 bucks.
Yep.
I think. Then I almost never look at button down shirts. I just don't like them. I'll glance over to see if anything pops out at me, which is what happened here. So this was in the button down shirts and I just saw this patch on the sleeve. So of course I got to look a little closer. And actually I think I saw this patch on the sleeve. So I went and looked at it and it says 1975-76 League Champions American Bowling Congress. So look at that awesome patch right there. This is in perfect condition. It's got this little patch on the other sleeve.
Another American Bowling
ABC
Congress.
Triplicate Award. And then look at
It's got the buttons on the bottom.
yeah, it's
shirt
really,
too.
really nice. And then look at the back. It's got like a sweet Coca-Cola patch on it. This is a King Louis made in the U.S. 70s bowling shirt. It's pretty small. It's a size, I think it's a size medium. But medium vintage is very, very small. But you get like I'll put in the notes that it's a vintage slim fit is what I'll say a lot of times and tell people to like pay attention to the measurements. But like, how cool is that? And it's like in great condition.
So does members only sell? Yeah, they do. They always sell.
Mm-hmm.
Members only jackets always sell.
Yeah, well, I just sold a gray one, a vintage 80s gray one. It's just like the one that he wears in Stranger Things. I just sold that for $84. I found one yesterday. I don't have it in my haul to show you guys, but I found a really cool kind of army green, like classic style members only jacket from the 80s. I've never seen quite that army green color, so I was pretty excited to find that. Here's another thing. I find these a lot, vintage bomber jacket. This is it's most likely 80s because it's made in Korea. It does have, there is like a hole in the, I can't find it. It's like hard to find, but there, oh, here it is. It doesn't go all the way through, but it's on the outside. But there is like a hole part way through on the hem. I'll still be able to sell this for a good amount. It's really, I love the color.
What do you mean by good amount for those that are wondering? 79.
I think I can still sell it for 80 bucks.
See, I would price things the same thing as you most of the times.
If it didn't have that hole, I would have gone over 100.
Bowling shirts can be pretty unisex. Rags, it's small, like it could be a woman's, but it is buttoned the way for a man's shirt would button. And King Louis makes men's clothing.
Yeah,
they may make women's, but I'm pretty sure it's just a men's clothing line.
Yeah, and I never list anything as unisex. I will list
if Congress went bowling, we'd all be better off. Preach, sister. Championship rodeo finals are coming to Vegas soon. Yeah, we have a lot of rodeos things that are done here, which I think is so odd because it's all indoors and in the desert. But whatever, we get a lot of rodeo stuff here in Vegas a few times a year.
Yeah,
PBR comes here. There's all kinds of weird stuff here.
I think I just have one more thing I was going to show. Now the brand, I don't normally buy a bunch of it because it's Gap. But this is a really heavy, nice down jacket. It's like a really good quality, heavy down jacket. It was priced at $16.49. It is their 1969 line, which is just kind of their higher end.
It's their higher end Gap line.
Yeah, so like I've sold jeans.
This jacket was probably a $200 plus jacket when they sold it.
Yeah, I've actually sold Gap 1969 trucker jackets for quite a bit. So the 1969 line is pretty good. Plus it's down. It's just really, really
It is actually a really well made, very heavy, nice down jacket for sure.
Yeah. So
like if I needed a down jacket, this is as nice as anything I've seen for $400 or $500.
So I'll probably try to get $80 to $100.
It's a little bit. It's almost like a flight jacket style, if that, because it has all these weird like snaps and I don't know.
Don't you break my jacket?
I'll break it if I want to break it.
Getting snappy. Anyway, so yeah, so it's like even Gap, which you would think is not you know, is a pretty basic brand, you can make some good money on if you kind of pay attention to what the items are and stuff like that. So that's it for my haul, guys. That's what I got.
That was a lot.
I know, right? And that was being pretty selective. So, all right, we're getting close to the end of the show, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to get into...
For 90 minutes, you guys stuck this out, and we've got 150 people still watching.
Awesome. So we're going to, real quick, we're going to recap. So last week, I decided I was just going to make up a challenge, and I made up the hashtag face-off between Dana, House of Rocks, and Allison, Big Thrift. Dana, you know, she's really funny on Instagram. She does a lot of really clever hashtags. And so then, you know, I decided, you know what, I'm going to put Allison on the spot and throw her up against her because I always enjoy Allison stuff. They're two of my favorite Instagrammers. And so they took that challenge and ran with it. And so let's show what we got. We've got our winners figured out, but let's show what we got here. I think that, let's see what, well, let's start with the one that, check this out. Hold on a second. Oh, bye. This is one thing I hate about Instagram is like sometimes it's hard to get stuff going, right? Here we go.
Allison, Big Thrift, I'm coming for you. Hashtag face off. Hashtag Katie Vicky. Hashtag it's on like Donkey Kong.
It's so creepy. So creepy.
That was one of the ones that started things off.
They were doing some serious smack talking. And then I think all the rest of the ones that Dana did are pictures. So she has this really cute picture of this doggy. We all love doggies. And she has hashtag dog eat dog, hashtag Bella dog, hashtag Pit adores of Instagram, hashtag get along little doggies, hashtag I'm not afraid of bees, which you'll understand what she's talking about there when we get to Allison's. But seriously, we were like loving this stuff. Let's see. She has this really ridiculous, I don't know what this is, like this cat.
It's a fuzzy
it's
sweater.
like super fuzzy. And she's got, I like the hashtag sweater weather, hashtag fuzzy sweater, hashtag Sheldon's Lullaby 6 song, which I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
Yeah. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little bowl of fur.
Okay. I don't know.
Soft kitty, warm kitty, purr, purr, purr.
Hashtag winner chicken dinner.
What is wrong with you? Did you ever watch Big Bang Theory?
No, I didn't. No. Sorry. I was more about Community. Let's see. And then, oh, my favorite one that she did, which I thought was really clever, is this one featuring a baked Alaska. And it says, Big Thrift, aka hashtag baked Alaska, is awfully quiet with the snark today. She must be feeling the quote hashtag face off, hashtag Vegas heat, hashtag burn baby burn, hashtag outsnarked, hashtag my hashtag game is strong. So I thought that was pretty funny. Very, very, very funny. Okay, so let's talk about Allison here, because Allison, I gotta say, Allison had us, I think, laughing in tears multiple times. Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
So let me get Allison here. Big Thrift. Here we go. Well, let's go to the B one, because that one she was referencing.
Who's gonna get stung?
Wait. See, this is why I hate. This is why he just repeat it.
Starts it in the middle.
Well, it doesn't start in the middle. It starts it with no sound, and then you're like, ah. There we go.
Hey, Tallulah, who's gonna get stung? Oh yeah, House of Rocks. Gonna get stung. Who's gonna get stung?
Look at how cute that baby is. Look at that cute little bee. And then now, Allison, did you remove one that, or was it like in a story where there was like a dog that was like talking? Because that one I was dying. But and here's a chicken.
Like that.
Here comes a chicken.
Oh, look at that. Greta. Hey, Greta. Hey, a chicken. What's my favorite chicken? It's like House of Rocks. You will be a chicken.
And then my favorite one. This is my favorite, guys. Here we go.
Hey, Campbell, did you see that latest post on Instagram House of Rocks put up? That sweater? Well, I thought I should sing a little song about it. Face off for Dana. It's not fair. Face off with Dana and that cat sweater. Poor Dana. Poor Dana because she's gonna lose.
Poor Dana.
Poor Dana
because she's gonna lose. So listen, guys, we enjoyed it. It was ridiculous. I get that it was pretty much like a thrown together, made up challenge. We were enjoying it a lot. I have to say,
as far as the hashtag game goes,
as far as the hashtag goes, no, I think the undisputed hashtag champion remains Dana. House of Rocks. She really does have a strong hashtag game. Got to give her that. So she does win the hashtag part of it. However, I'm telling you guys,
Allison's video, Instagram, Insta story, singing game, that part wins.
she
doesn't quite have the hashtags are not quite as funny, or it's the hashtag part was not quite as strong as Dana's. So Dana wins the hashtag part, yes, for sure. But Allison's video game was hilarious.
She had like a whole menagerie of animals at her disposal too.
There was a chicken. There was a couple of dogs. There was like a pig. I don't even know. But she had a whole.
Where were the goats? Where were the baby goats?
So I gotta say, her video game beat Dana's video game.
Yeah.
So
but it was a hashtag challenge.
It was a hashtag challenge. But however, because they were both so funny.
Oh yeah.
Dana can say she won. There are two prizes.
Two prizes, guys. Two prizes.
Two prizes.
You guys are both gonna get the eBay board game. We got an eBay. This is like old
You're
school.
welcome.
This is like old school vintage eBay. This is from 2001. So hang on to these for a couple of years, and they will officially become vintage. Old school, the OG. Logo. We're gonna send this out. Dana, when we see you, we'll give you one, and then we're gonna ship one out to Allison. But you guys, yeah. Dana goes, remember it was hashtag face off. Yes, you won the hashtag part of it, but we felt like because Allison made
Christiane says Vicky will get right on sending those out. Yeah, sending one out anyway. Allison, if you can message me your address again.
But we felt like because Allison was making us laugh so hard that this one over here was legit crying from the laughter.
I was. The one video she did in Insta stories where she made the dog talk. I wish I had that one, and I can't. I think it disappeared after the 24-hour thing.
Yeah, so good. So we're gonna send that out. Anyway, guys, thank you for like letting me just decide that I'm gonna take over your life for a week to make you.
It was for our amusement, basically.
Yeah.
Also, I want to say, if Cheryl Hinton, if you're still in the chat, if not, I'll send you a message. Can you send me your address, because someone abdicated their win last week for a cat T-shirt and said that I could send it to you. So I don't have your address, honey. So if you can send your address. The other two are going out tomorrow. I slacked this week. I did not get them out this week, but they are all put together.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Christiane? She didn't even send it out. We had prizes last week, and it's a whole week later. Nothing got sent out. Slacker.
They're going out tomorrow.
Slacker.
I've been busy. I've had people here, and they weren't with my shipping
So
stuff,
many excuses.
Yep.
So many excuses.
So anyway, we lost out a bunch of our people that were watching did not care about the hashtag face off, apparently, and they bailed, at least 25 in the last few.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, hanging out with us. And we will
if you like the show, thumbs up.
Yeah, if you like the show, thumbs up. If you didn't like the show, I guess you can give it a thumbs down. I'll cry, and then you'll probably feel pretty good about that, because if you're thumbs down and us, then maybe you don't like us and you want me to cry. So thanks a lot, jerks. Thanks a lot, jerks. Anyway,
whatever.
So we'll see you again on
I like
Wednesday.
my haters too.
Yeah. We'll see you again on Wednesday, and get some good work done. Enjoy the rest of your weekend before you guys ship out a bunch of stuff tomorrow. And I guess all we can say is boss up.
Boss up.
Boss up.
See you Wednesday.
Boss up. Yeah.
Oh, Denise, I hope you enjoyed your first show of craziness. We appreciate you watching.